Hello everybody, what is up internet? It is me, Jutani Egg Tano, internet's busiest music nerd. Reviewing, we're reviewing I'm Going to Assassinate Everybody in the European Cyclist Union by Zeebeth, whiterling, which is the self-described Fuck Off album for my friend Jude's YouTube channel, LeMayo. And this is I think the newest release from Zeebeth, whiterling, and it is, I think an EP. It's kind of, and it's got an album amount of tracks for an EP length, and it has a very interesting blend of sounds. I'm gonna kind of go through and give my thoughts on it. We start off with Sugar, the Archies, and it's a cover of, it's a classic cover, but with a very unique spin on it. It kind of blends the claustrophobia pop sounds, the kind of grating, blends the grating production of claustrophobia pop with a really kind of melodic kind of sound from the original song, and it starts with this kind of booming kind of sample, this great fade into the album. It tells you exactly what you're getting into and why, and it's a really strong start. If there's anything wrong with it, I'd say it's a bit short. I wish it went on for 25 minutes. That's more of a personal thing. I kind of respect that Elizabeth Richardson has taken it in her own direction when it comes to this one. We start off with our next track, and it's another cover, this time from 10 Sewer Slides, and what she's done with this one is she's got the original kind of melodic sound that what's his name, who's in all those different things, is in, and she instead changes it to be a kind of melodic, kind of melancholic, almost kind of slow, grating kind of experience. I think I would describe it as kind of like what it feels like to drown in a swimming pool that's really bright. So it's that sensory kind of overload, but you're dulled by the fact that you're drowning in really bright water, which is, I think we've all been there. I think we've all drowned in a really bright pool before. And then I think the second track, out of the first two tracks, is the weaker track, I will say. I think it suffers from what the first track did, and that's not being 32 minutes long, and it just kind of, once again, this was my preference, but at this time I really felt as though it should have been 49 minutes long. But once again, my personal preference. It's not how the artist intended it for it to be. So, I'll let her get away with it. I will not call her and tell her to redo that song. The next track is Park Ranger, which is the first non-cover of the album so far, and it's this grating, booming kind of dun 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 dun, kind of over and over and over with a sample that's kind of emotionally charged, and it just, the entire time you're listening to it, it's brings you back to that time you stole all of your friend's shit and your friend got pissed, but on the inside you knew it was their fault because they told you the house it was set up, it was almost deliberate, so it wasn't really your fault. So it kind of makes you go through that kind of, the almost 4 stages of stealing and getting caught, and where it's shit, I've been caught, then it's, shit, I'm gonna lose a friend, and then it's, fuck, I fucked up, and then it's, hang on, I wasn't in the wrong here. And I think no song has been able to capture that in such a way. Only problem with the song, just a small thing, I wish it was 52 minutes long. But, that's just a personal preference as the listener, artist's choice, you get a little bit of liberty. The next track is Black Mold, Inhalation, and been there, know what I'm saying? But it was, it's 48 seconds of this kind of reverse, discordant, yet almost, how do I say, it's harmonious, almost religious, occultish, almost like, yeah, almost like Lovecraftian in nature. It is strong, but it knows when to draw itself back, and definitely one of my favorite tracks on the album, as I like when things are reversed because it reminds me of reversing my car, and I love driving and reversing my car, especially if it's like parking. I love parking and shit like that. Like feeling like I'm parking the car is like one of my, yeah, definitely like a top 3 kind of feeling for me. So this track, yeah, it's pretty good, but just from my own kind of personal, like, how I do it, if I made the song, I'd aim for maybe an hour and 10 minutes duration, because the 45 seconds or whatever it is just doesn't, when I park my car, it takes a long time, because you gotta move the other cars out the way by kind of like, not damaging your own car, but, you know, like nudging it out. So it was good, but not long enough. The next track is the House Inspector theme. This is another cover, but this time I don't think it being a cover does any favors, because I believe Sarah really could have gone above and beyond with this one and done a lot more with it. It just being a cover doesn't feel like enough. It's got kind of these nice harsh vocals, but it's got this acoustic guitar, and I'd much rather in place of that be like the sound of like a bus crashing, like sampled. I think a bus crashing is usually like a better fill-in that would match like kind of the style of the album. The build-up we've had makes you think, I want to hear a bus crashing over and over and over again. And yeah, that was just kind of, this is probably my least favorite track on the album, but that being said, I still really like it, and aside from that, it's perfect. But I wish it was like an hour and 29 minutes long. Like, I think it would be a lot kind of, I wouldn't even be bothered by the acoustic guitar if it went for an hour and 38 minutes. Like, I think that would be kind of enough for it to really set itself in, make itself known, you know? The next song is Quirked Up Z-Tier Kid Scrams Project Band, Busting It Down Sexual Style. And I just have to say, this one definitely takes the cake for, like, when I listened to this, I cried for so long I couldn't feel my eyes anymore. And not many songs have done that before, so that was that made me go like, yeah, holy shit! Like I was amazed at the like raw emotional power in just a simple kind of like, I'm not even sure what instrument that is, but an instrument, right, over and over again. It doesn't have vocals that I've noticed yet. Just like a stunning track, which is why, and I hate to say this, I really wish it was like an hour and 49 minutes long. Like, I don't know, I just wish it went on for a bit longer, you know. I wish it was like an hour and 58 minutes, because I wish I cried for an hour and 58 minutes, because I think that could have, I have a thing in my eye, let me see if you can hear it. Yeah, and I just, I wanted to get it out, you know. Fucking hated this track. This one that's coming up next. You know, so the other one was my least favorite. Banny of the Perk 321921 is my least favorite one. You wanna know why? You wanna know why? Because this song has this amazing drums, this kind of awesome melody. It's like it's got a, yeah, it's definitely, it would work great in this album, except from one major fucking issue, one like huge fuck up on behalf of Sarah. It should have been 2 hours and 6 minutes. Shouldn't be any less. It was embarrassing. I got into it and I was like, this is so good, how much longer does it have left? And when I found out that it wasn't 2 hours and 11 minutes, like, holy shit. Well, what is that guy meant to do around here to get a you know, like, the next track is Baby Mario, and this one takes you through this feeling of like discordant nostalgia, like, you know, like you feel like you remember this, it's got that warm feeling, but at the same time it feels kind of twisted and cold, and that's because it's got Baby Mario crying. And if your childhood was like mine, you played Baby Mario and you fucked up a lot because you had tiny like kid fingers, and kid fingers can't do like shit when it comes to playing on the 3DS. And you'd fuck it up in Yoshi's Island over and over again. You couldn't accomplish shit. So you heard that Baby Mario going wah, 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 like constantly, and like this song, the difference with it is, the reason it's kind of discordant is because you can hear kind of the backing instruments, the kind of other elements of the song, and the way they mesh with Mario, the baby one, not the big one. He couldn't cry. The little one going wah wah, and it was yeah, it makes you go through this kind of unique emotional state. That's definitely a favorite on the album of mine, but I just kind of wish it was like 2 hours and 23 minutes. The final track is Violence Against Australians, which already comes in with a kind of passionate name that gets you going, oh, what's Sarah up to now? Like, what's Elizabeth Whittington, like, got to say about Australians? And starts off with a, like, kind of a remixed kind of sample of, I can't put my finger on it, sounds very familiar, probably like the Beatles or something, and it kind of then goes into this kind of, you know, it goes like, it does the thing over and over again. It's spliced repetitively, and it gets you going like, whoa, you know, like, whoa! And this goes on for a bit until we kind of get the outro to the album, and you kind of think to yourself like, fuck, like, it's ending, like, it's only 17 minutes long, and you're just like, where did it all go, you know, like, you just ended, like, so abruptly too, like, you could have sworn there was